Okay, so I think this one is recording now. Hi. Nala, you want to be in the video? Come here, baby. You want to come? Come on. Okay, I'm not going to bother her. No, she's being contrary.
Okay, yeah.
Hi, guys. How are you guys doing?
Hello.
You know what? It's like, oh my gosh. Thank you. Oh, someone said we look gorgeous. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much.
I have the camera turned this way, so it's like I'm trying to like turn to like read what you guys are saying.
Yeah, we have to get another camera, just keeping it real.
Yeah.
So, we're on our Mac
baby.
and
Come on.
our iPhone, so.
Come on.
But it's working out. It's gonna have to.
Like, our cat was walking over here, but now she doesn't want to come. I don't know what is going on with her. All right, guys.
So, okay, we got a few questions.
Yeah, but we want to say thank you for tuning in. We really do appreciate all the love and support that we've been receiving over the last couple of days. Thank you, guys. We appreciate you. And, you know, we just want to keep this nice and casual, fun, you know, nothing heavy or crazy, and just talk about magic and spirituality. And I think we'll start off with a couple of questions that we received, and if you guys want to chime in, you can. All right, Mom, so you want to read off the first question?
Okay. The first question we received is, do you have any valuable tips for a beginner when it comes to charging your work with your intentions?
Okay, that's a good question.
Yeah, it is a good question.
I would say, as a beginner, when you're working on your things, be very clear what it is that you want and why you're doing the ritual before you get started. So say you're working on manifesting money. The way you would, what did she say?
Basically charging your work.
Okay, charge it with intention. The way you would charge it with your intention is, say you want a specific amount of money, like maybe $500. You need to have it in your mind that, okay, what I'm asking for, what I'm petitioning for, what I'm commanding from the universe, God, or spirit, or from the ancestors, is that I need this $500. So when you're doing your ritual, keep thinking as if you've already received it. I know that sounds weird. It's like you have to kind of like trick your subconscious mind into believing that you already have something even though you're asking for it. But if you remain in an open and receptive state, it helps for you to really be focused on what your intention is. So you want to go in the ritual with an intention of being open-minded, being focused and clear on exactly what it is that you want, and just go from there. But in terms of fusing intention, I would say be very, very clear about what it is that you want and why you want it. And while you're doing the ritual, remember why you want it. That's how you infuse your intention into something. What would you say for that?
I would also say, particularly if you're working with a candle and you're just using a candle, you want to meditate with the candle. You want to actually hold the candle in your hands.
Yes.
You want to do prayers over the candle, mantras. You can do sound healing, like with bells, or I can't think of the
chimes.
Chimes, or things. Sound clearing. I'm sorry, you can do sound clearing. That would be an excellent way of putting your energy into the item. You can also use crystals, too, in your rituals. You could charge those with the intentions. You can have those around your candles.
Yeah.
I have little tiny crystal chips that I actually put in some of my ritual candles. And things of that nature. So the crystals will hold that energy value.
Especially a clear quartz crystal.
Yes, a clear quartz crystal.
Because it will amplify your intention.
Yeah.
What you can do is like hold the crystal in your hand and really speak to it, because a crystal is a sentient being, in my opinion. And just tell it what you need it to do. I need you to amplify this work. I need you to keep my intention, crystal clear. I need you to add energy to my work.
Exactly.
Oh, someone said that's very helpful.
And you can use specific crystals, too, tailored to what you're doing. So maybe you needed an amethyst or a citrine, avitrine, or a lodestone when it comes to doing like money work and things like that.
Yeah.
So everything can be tailored specifically to your need.
Right, exactly.
But any item you use can be charged and imbued with your energy.
I would also say, too, Like, if you need something to help you really focus your attention, play music that is aligned with your goal. Like, I know we said in our money video that you can create a money and, prosperity playlist. Play music that makes you think about money, that makes you feel good about money. If you're doing something for, like, self-love, put on a feel-good song. If you're doing something for romance, put on something romantic, beautiful, sensual, like, that way it stays aligned with what you're working on.
And then also, too, even before beginning the ritual, you want to make sure you're cleansed, spiritually, mentally, physically.
Yeah.
So you would have wanted to take a spiritual bath. Make sure, of course, your areas are clean that you're working in. But that spiritual bath and cleansing yourself, cleaning your aura is really important when you're trying to get your ashe into your magic and into your ritual.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see.
Okay.
What's the next question?
So, and this is actually two-part. Is there anything you recommend to someone trying to get started, and what steps did you take to get started? So we'll start with what steps did you take. It's kind of weird. It's not a weird journey. It was a long journey. How it all started, or how it unlocked, or how I realized I was spiritual. And it's really, once you get into your spirituality and everything, you start looking back over the course of your life and everything that has happened, and you realize it was always there the whole time. There were signs, or there were things you had, or things that you may have done, or things you connected with.
Exactly.
And it all pieces together in that, one aha moment when it's like, oh my God, this is what it is. This is, this is what I am. This is what, my ancestors have been tugging on me about all these years. So how did I get started? It was interesting. When I went natural.
Yes. Okay, keep going. Yes.
And when I went natural, I started, and I was always a person who was like, maybe I guess health conscious or what have you. But I started aligning on a different frequency. And at the time, I was in a long-term relationship, and he would like try to introduce me to certain things. And sometimes people are put in your life for certain reasons, and now I understand that kind of helped unlock me. And he started opening up things to me, and then when I went natural, I was on like another vibration, and everything just kind of started unfolding from there. So where I got started was with realizing who I really was. And then I started like wanting to understand and come out. I wasn't like going to church every Sunday or anything like that, but I mean, we all have a background in Christianity. So I then started understanding that there's things outside of religion, there's things outside of just what you were taught in terms of who God was, church, and and things of that nature. And I started studying religion. I started studying spirituality. And then one thing led to the next. And what resonated with me the most is where I started finding my truth. And understanding that this isn't evil, it isn't bad.
Right.
And then, this is true Christ consciousness, connecting to your God source, the universe. And from there is probably, I did get a reading. And this feeds into the next question. I got an ancestral reading. And that's a great way to get started. I mean, especially if you have like this in your bloodline. There's some people in your family that you have a real calling. An ancestral reading will really help unlock that and kind of put you on the path of what healing modality you want to be in. What type of magic is in your bloodline, what type of spirituality. And then once you get like a baseline and a foundation there, you have to start working on yourself and clearing things out of your life. And once you get that foundation, another great step to take is to set up an altar. You can set up an ancestor altar, or you can just set up a simple meditation altar. Everybody has to take steps in a way that works for them. Some people are baby steps. Some people just go from kindergarten to high school. It just wherever you are. So you have to set up a sacred space where you can then come and be peaceful, be quiet, and start connecting with spirit, start connecting with your ancestors. And learning how to ground yourself, learning basic protection and things of that nature. And your altar It could be something very simple as a candle,
a glass of
a glass of water to bring spirit in, flowers, something natural,
fruit,
crystals, an item that you love or resonates with you that you spiritually connect to. It could even be your Bible too. You know, nothing is concrete. Nothing is like, oh, once you become spiritual, I can't do this, I can't do that. Whatever resonates with you is what's good. What the main thing is your intention. And you're not getting in this to harm or hurt people. You're getting in this to heal yourself, heal your family, heal generational curses, better your life, set up something better for your children and the generation after that and the generation after that. You can effectively change your whole family and your bloodline.
Hi, Kemp. Hey. You just joined.
Oh, hi.
Hey.
Okay, so let's see.
And also, too, I'll add something to that, too. Bree. But for the person who commented, so yes, this will be uploaded to YouTube, so thank you for asking.
Yes.
That's why we have the other camera down here recording. So we're trying not to be all over the place, but we wanted to have it, cohesive, because last time when we did the live on the phone, I had to use a screen recording, and that was just too much. It took an hour to obviously screen record the whole video.
Our intention was to have both cameras or whatever, but we got all that worked out now. So
it's fine. Oh my gosh, how I got into spirituality and magic. As a child, I was always very empathic. I remember seeing things, feeling things. To me, spirits just look like regular people. To be honest, I don't see them as often as I used to. Maybe that's something I have to work on, redeveloping again. But as a child, I could feel things. I was very empathic, especially with non-living objects. It was just very weird, but funny and cute at the same time.
I could that because I had a rock collection. My whole life. I always had rocks and just weird stuff.
You were obsessed with rocks.
And
I was obsessed with rocks.
I'm a crystal healer practitioner, so it's like it all goes hand in hand. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, it's
but
okay.
You see how it connects.
Yeah, and I'm just sitting here trying to think also, too. Also, another thing was, being that I had my mom, my grandmother, even though my grandmother... she passed away a couple years ago, but we love her dearly. My mother's mother. She was an evangelist, and she was also very spiritual. So she never doubted that my mom and I had spiritual gifts because she had them too. And she never, thought that we were crazy. So it does help if you have people in your family who are already in tuned, even if they're not 100% in. But if you can start to learn the family history and see if anyone was into magic or spirituality or alchemy, working with herbs and things like that. Hi, guys. Hi. Thank you for joining us. That's a great way to start in terms of how to get started. But look back at things that really intrigued you as a child because they'll make more sense once you're older. I know for me, going natural in 2011, that was the very last time I had a perm. It really opened up my intuition. I was already intuitive, but it opened it up even more. And I had it during college, so it was a really interesting time. I remember in 2011, everybody was talking about the Illuminati, and I'm like, what in the world is the Illuminati? But for some reason, that word triggered me. And that's when I started doing more research on, like religion and, genetically modified food and crystals. It's just one thing led to the next. You'll find yourself researching everything. Yeah. And, I was, how old was I in 2011? I think I was,
I don't know.
Was I 21? 21? Yeah. I'm 27 now. So, and I was in school studying psychology, particularly counseling and talk therapy. So I always loved psychology. I found a way to merge the two to make magic and spirituality more holistic for me. That's the approach that I believe is really productive in terms of you integrating all of this knowledge, all of this information. One thing you'll find is that you want to start studying all the different religions. I'm not an aficionado in all the religions, but I do like to study them. You'll find that they are pieces of the bigger puzzle.
Definitely, because they all lead back.
All lead back to spirituality.
Yeah, to spirituality, and you're
and
like
magic.
This whole time I didn't know. You were taught one thing, and it's like wow.
Exactly, you'll find how it's all connected. Even though you become spiritual, there are still things that you have to reconcile with yourself because, learning about all of this stuff, it can create a lot of cognitive dissonance.
I was just going to say that.
Don't
Yes.
jump from one thing to the next so quickly. We've been on this for the last almost 10 years
10
now.
years.
Yeah.
Yes.
And, take your time when you're researching, new topics and subjects, and slowly integrate it into a way that it makes sense for you, because my truth is not going to be the same as your truth. So you really have to make sure that you find a way to reconcile the information to where it makes sense for you. And at the same time, while you're researching, you take everything with a grain of salt. You have discernment, and at the same time, allow yourself to stay flexible and versatile while learning this information. So let me see. Yes, and exactly. Truth comes within. When you start understanding all of this, it comes from within. Exactly. From within your own spirit and your heart, you will find a way to make all of this work for you. And I believe, what else did she say?
Okay, so what steps did we take to get started? Which we kind of already covered.
So if we could condense it, we would say, do your research. Talk to family members who are open-minded. If you know they're not open-minded, just leave them alone, because you don't want no drama and a whole bunch of other stuff started. But talk to other family members. Find out who in your family might have practiced anything, whether it was voodoo, Santeria, healing arts, whether they were a curandera, anything. Just look up your family history. Talk to your family members. Start researching different topics, and set up an ancestor altar when you feel comfortable and ready to do so. That will really help push you into the realm even further in terms of connecting and knowing that you're backed by a powerful resource, which is people who love you.
And not being fearful either.
Exactly.
Not being fearful.
I mean, we could talk about this for hours.
All night long.
It's really that in depth. Oh my gosh. To keep it condensed, it's like I could say so much more, but I don't want to overwhelm you guys either.
This would be like it's a basic, straight to the point question and answer. But just remember not to be fearful, because it's so easy to get caught in that trap by other people. I mean, anything they say can trigger you. You'll be having a great day. You're in your spirituality. This feels right. And they could say one tiny thing that... I'm trying to think of an example of something that would just maybe scare the daylights out of you. And you're like, well, what? But you had it all reconciled 5 minutes ago.
Right. And the next thing you know, it's like, okay, well, now I don't know how to feel about this anymore.
I didn't consider that.
Yeah.
Don't abandon anything. You're on the right path. You're where you're supposed to be. If you're here right now, you're where you're supposed to be.
Yeah, so your ancestors are your first ally.
Yeah.
You'll come to find that, most African traditions, even though we have, the Orishas and, in the Khan tradition, you have the Abuzum, you have the Loa, there's always been one central belief that there is one supreme creator that has a masculine and a feminine presence. So you're going to also have to do your research outside of the realm of... how do I say this? Outside of...
You have to go out of...
Eurocentric information.
Yeah, you have to go out of that. You have to start with... There's so many books, like, the Book of the Dead?
Yeah, by Muwada Ashby, The Book of Coming Forth by Day. That's an excellent book to read.
Yeah, start going into, your black authors, and... out of what is the standard education about religion and all those things.
Farron wants us to talk about connecting with the ancestors. We can talk about that again, because we talked about that too. But go ahead and continue what you were saying before.
Oh yeah, leaving standard European education, everything you were taught in school or what, throw all that out the window. And then you have to start looking into alternative sources of information. And what you find, once you start looking for things, it's like Spirit's going to lead you to what you need to know. And things of that nature. This information will just be like there. Whether you're on the internet, it's a book, or even a person as a resource. And you'll start aligning with people who are more like you. And those people are coming to your circle, and they'll be there to help you and assist you.
Exactly. And the part with connecting with the ancestors, I would say start talking to them like how you talk to your friends and your family members. Just talk to them out loud. You don't have to be shy about it, because you're in the comfort and the privacy of your own home. I would say just start talking to them, talking to them.
Space.
Yeah, in a sacred space. Tell them who you are. Obviously, they know who you are, but, for your more distant ancestors, start introducing yourself like, hi, my name is so-and-so. I want to connect with my benevolent ancestors. Yes. I say that because, not everyone is perfect, and certainly when your ancestors were alive, not every single one of them were on a benevolent or righteous path. We all have a family history, so you don't want to call on energies within your bloodline that were harmful or dangerous,
right,
or just had a lot of negative things attached to them. I would say the most immediate ancestors to start with are your grandparents and great-grandparents. Eventually others will start introducing themselves to you. You want to work with your ancestors who want to work with you, who have your back, because not all of them will have your back. Some of them still have their interests in death as they had in life. And just be very clear, I want to work with my benevolent ancestors. I want to work with those who want to help me, who want to guide me, who want to see me succeed in this life. You have to make that distinction.
Yeah, make that declaration.
And if you were adopted, or if you don't know who your ancestors were, just write a letter to them and put it on the altar. And what you'll find too is, even though you might not know who your blood ancestors were, the people you have in your adopted family, they will still be with you. So we do have ancestors of the bloodline and those who are not in the bloodline who are there to assist. Is there anything you want to add in, Mom?
No,
in particular about the ancestors?
One thing we didn't mention, if for your basic ancestor altar, you can have pictures up. That's actually a good thing to do, of your ancestors. And like Bree said, if you don't have pictures, you can write their names out.
Oh, you're welcome.
One thing you don't want to do is, you don't want to put pictures of the living on the altar with the dead ancestors. You don't want to mix the two. Let's see.
Can I give one example about the picture falling?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, this is not to weird anyone out, but if you had ancestors, family members who didn't get along when they were alive, maybe keep their pictures on opposite ends of the altar.
Or one not on the altar at all, okay? I'm sorry.
Yeah, because...
Okay, so I had...
You want to tell them?
Yeah, I had a picture of my mom. I'm not going to say this family member because God forbid anybody's watching. Okay, and another family member.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God! I'm like, Bree, I forgot I had this picture. I said, oh, Mommy would love this picture on the altar.
Yeah, Grandma would love it.
Went and put it on the altar. Fell down. I was like, okay. And I didn't have a frame, but I had it affixed with like this adhesive or whatever.
Yeah.
So I went and put it back on there. Came down again. And I was like, okay. Put it back on there again. And then I think around the fourth time I was like, And someone in my family came to me and like, do you know that they really didn't
mess with each other
care
like
for
that.
Each other. One didn't really particularly care for the other, and I think you really just need to abandon this whole thing. And I did not know this information. I couldn't understand. Well,
why
and I was starting to think something's wrong here.
Yeah.
And I said, I may just take this off. And my family member told me, well, there was a discrepancy with them, and so even
laughing.
Even on the other side, they wasn't having it. Okay, apparently I wasn't having it either. So I got the memo. And I finally just abandoned that. So the picture just never went back on the altar. That was the end of that.
That was the end of that. That they made it very clear that they did not want to be next to each other.
And I think that was my mom more than anything, because
that was Grandma.
Even in death, my mother has not changed. She's the same person when she comes to me, and this is so. It's like, okay, that was definitely my mother saying, "Please, please, God."
Oh yeah, we just had to throw it in there and make you guys laugh, and also too, you will start feeling their presence more in your home. So, don't be freaked out or anything. You'll know that it's good energy because you won't feel scared or feel like anything bad is happening. Yes, you might feel their presence and you might feel extra sensitive to that. So that is something you have to get used to. But for those of you, like, say you're in a place right now where you're not in your own spot, you don't want to set up an ancestor altar, you got nosy roommates or nosy family members that you might be living with, or your partner or spouse is just not the most open, what you can do is go outside and pour libations under a tree for your ancestors. Like you could pour out some water, you could pour out some rum and some whiskey, and you know, call their names out loud as you do it. To me, you know, I feel like as long as you keep a communication with the ancestors, you express your appreciation, they will come through for you whether you have an altar up or not.
They will. They show themselves one way or the other. And another interesting story, the first night my ancestor altar was fully up.
I couldn't sleep. It was so much activity.
Well, it was
not in a bad way, but I was happy.
I mean, but you know, I was already open to certain things. You know, being in spirituality, you already experience things with, you know, that are strange spirits, whatever. Yeah. So when I put the altar up, people talked all night long. I heard people talking the whole night. And it didn't scare me because this is my normal, okay? So people talked all night long, and I'm like, my God, this is amazing. And it's like they were all there. Yeah. Like it's like they were happy that I finally had the altar up, and I had a, you know, way for us to,
hi, it's whoever just joined.
You know, I can't sit and connect.
Hi, Kiana.
And that was amazing to me. Yeah. And you think about the word alter, it means to alter things. Think about it in that sense. So, shift things. Yeah. So your altar is a living energy.
A vortex of power.
Okay? So it is something real going on there. So if you want to change things, you want to shift, maneuver, whatever, then that's why you're going to the altar to change them. If that kind of like brings it together. I hope
that makes sense. Yeah.
You know? Don't take your altar for granted.
And also, too, you know, in terms of ancestor offerings on the altar.
Oh, yeah, we didn't cover that.
If you can, change the water out like every couple of days, you know, so that way you're not overwhelmed. So that way they have fresh water. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say use like maybe spring water.
Yeah, use spring water.
Or, you know, purified water. Try if you can, don't use the tap water.
Yeah,
because you want a certain vibration on that altar.
Oh, he said he's never looked at it like that. It's powerful. Yes, very powerful.
Okay,
absolutely. Yeah. And two, also, you know, don't leave the food on the altar after an extended amount of time. You want to remove it. If you want to, you can put it out in nature as an offering, provided that it's something safe for like the birds and the animals to eat. It's really good to put live food on your altar, so put up there, you know, some fruit, bananas, apples, oranges. You'll notice that the fruit won't decay in a normal way. It'll just kind of sink in. It won't turn, you know, black, and
it'll preserve very nicely. It's
because they're you know,
the energetic value of what is happening.
And another thing you can do is, hold on 1 second. I'm gonna grab something.
One thing that you can offer them, it's like whiskey and rum. Also, you can offer them black coffee.
Yes, black coffee, that strength of the coffee. Yeah, that's excellent to use. Another thing you can do, and this made its entry into hoodoo a good while ago, comes from the Chinese tradition. What you can do is you can burn Joss paper or ancestor money. It's also known as Josh paper or hell notes. So you can use this. I'm showing it on both cameras. All right, you can use this to give an offering to your ancestors. You know, obviously they don't need or deal with money on the other side, but it's just the energetic value of giving them money, so that way they can help bless you and help you with your finances in return. So that's one reason to use ancestor money and your workings with them.
And we did find a difference once we started including the ancestor money, how the ancestors connect them with us.
Yeah, it's really good.
So it did make a difference.
We've been using this for 3 years.
It created like it solidified more of our bond and connection. The spiritual aspect of burning this money, the fire, and the power, the energetic.
And you know, they come in different denominations. Like this one is 10,000. You have ones that come in like 1 million, 2 million. And sometimes the notes are actually larger than this size. It might be like this big, or like a whole sheet of paper. So you can find these online. S.L.E. Myers, he is a brother that sells them.
Yeah, he does.
Sometimes you can find these at the Asian markets. You just have to ask for them. And yeah, you can get these on Amazon and eBay as well.
Mm-hmm.
But ancestor money is definitely something you can incorporate. We've seen really good results with it over the years.
So yeah, I think those are all the basics of getting started in your spirituality, and crystals too are just something easy to start with. If you're not comfortable with going to the altar with the ancestors yet, start just meditating with a crystal and just doing the mantras and the prayers and things with that, and then you graduate to what you're more comfortable with next. Hello, beautiful. Thank you.
Oh, hi. Hello. Hi, West Feminine. Hi. Oh my gosh, she is amazing. Her energy is so good. How do you get back to your photos so I can see the next question?
Oh, sure. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, we're going to keep this going. I think we've been on for about half an hour now. You guys are good, right?
And, if you have anything else you want to ask us, please. Okay.
So we did the steps, anything you can recommend, intentions.
And then, this one right here.
Okay, so the last one, what happens next when you die? That is very hard to answer. I mean, I could tell you different theories from different cultures. The Egyptians obviously believed that there was some type of judgment scene, when they weigh your heart against a feather. To be honest, I can't tell you, but I would like to think that there are different realms of existence, different levels. The ancestral realm, I believe that you can go to different dimensions, but honestly, I can't give you one exact answer as to what happens. I mean, we all just have to wait for ourselves one day, right? Eventually.
Just know that the spiritual work that you do here, how far you elevate yourself here will be what realms you go to when you go to, the next level. And just know that energy can never die.
Exactly. It transforms. Yeah, from one form to another.
And you're melanin. So that's like a superconductor of energy. So you will go on.
You just exist in a different form.
In a different form.
At least that's what I would love to believe. Oh, she said yes. Yeah. Because I can't believe that this is just all for nothing. It's not. That would just seem too final and kind of like sad. Yeah.
But as you move along in your spiritual journey, even death is not even scary anymore. Because you're just transitioning on to something bigger and greater.
Exactly. You won't be confined in a physical body anymore. I mean, yes, we do love certain things that, being in a body, affords us. But there's a lot more freedom and expansion there, What did she say? Oh, yeah. She said there's a movie called What Dreams May Come that gives a perspective on afterlife. I have to watch that movie again. I haven't seen that in a really long time.
It's been, oh, wow.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, gosh. There's so many movies you could watch. I mean, kind of like, what'd she say? Yeah, we can create our afterlife.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm glad you said that. I
believe you can do that.
Because I did mean to mention that because I feel like people say in terms of heaven and hell, I believe in you create your own heaven and you create your own hell.
Yes.
And whatever your belief system is what you will experience when you move on. If that makes sense, because it kind of speaks to what you just said. You create your afterlife. Yeah, so that's a good point.
Someone said, read the book Journey of the Souls. Thank you for that recommendation. Absolutely. Because I think in Moja Ashby's The Coming Forth by Day, which is also known as the Book of the Dead. That's a really good book to read. It really helps you in terms of your mindset for life and your spiritual practice. I believe in his book, he gives along the lines of, to be of service here will help determine, where you go after this is done, your actions, your deeds. It's kind of like I've read in another book, an ancestral book. I'll get the title for you guys, and I'll put it on the page as a post. But one guy did say, an African-American guy, he did say that, you're given a life review. They show you everything. They go over what you did, your actions. And it's not to say that you have to be this cookie-cutter perfect person, but I just believe, who you were in life is who you're going to be in the afterlife.
I've seen a few movies that hint to that, where you get a whole review of your life. Mm-hmm. And it's not like some final judgment type situation, but it's, so I don't know. Yeah, but it's a lot of things to consider, but just know the energy lives on.
Exactly. Oh, thank you for the hearts.
Thank you.
Do you guys have any other questions you want to go over or ask us in particular? We'd be more than happy to answer them.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's see, where are we at now? We're at 34 minutes.
Oh, wow. Already?
I know, that was fast.
My goodness.
I know. Thank you. Thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate it.
We do.
Yeah, I mean, honestly. Ooh.
You got it?
Sorry, got paused.
Okay.
Honestly, Magic Moya, we created Magic Moya in 2016 as a way to just connect with like-minded individuals, to help women and men on their spiritual journey, to talk about magic and how to really infuse it in your everyday life. And that is just not something separate, because honestly, our thoughts are magic. Mentalism is the highest magic, and you have to be very diligent and live your life with intention and create with intention in order to see changes. Oh, what did he say?
Yeah.
Do you guys still listen to gospel music too? It raises my vibration. Sometimes I do. I'm not gonna lie.
You know what? If you love a song, you love a song, and I have a few gospel songs I love.
It can be comforting, as long as you understand everything. It can still be comforting,
and you can transmute anything
exactly
to. I don't want to say to make it fit, but to what your reality is.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't make it good or bad or that anything of that nature.
Yeah, because if you think about it, we talk about Christ, in Christianity they call it Christ or the Christos. In African spirituality they call it Ashe. We call it melanin. In the Indian culture you call it Kundalini and Shakti. It's all the same thing.
Same energy. Spirit is spirit.
Yeah. Wise Feminine said something. Oh, she said, I would just like to say I think it's dope to see a mother and daughter doing magic. So many of us grew under indoctrinated family and we could not express anything outside of religion. I'm glad you said that, because that is the norm for a lot of us. And, on my mother's side, especially with my grandmother, she didn't embrace magic. But she knew about it, you know what I mean? She didn't practice, but she knew of it. She was in the church, she was an evangelist, so she never condemned us, but she understood what our path was because it was in our lineage. Her mother practiced somewhat, but my grandmother's grandmother really practiced. So sometimes it can skip generations, and it just comes back into the bloodline by one person the ancestors will reach out to. They reach out to you in dreams, ideas, things you see, symbols, just anything really. That they'll try to connect with you, and next thing you know, you're piecing together the dots, and things start to make sense to you. And then you realize, hey, there is more to this reality of what we've been indoctrinated into.
And also the reality of it is, coming our history as Black people, we've always practiced some form of something and hiding in secret,
Yeah, I mean, look at we had to hide it in the church, spiritualist churches.
So it's always there, one way or the other, whether people want to admit or anything of that nature in your family. And a lot of times things are just hidden and not passed down. And then now here we are in 2019, and we wish that things could have been a little different, you know?
Oh, wait, let me see.
She
says, I absolutely love watching all. It makes me smile. Oh, yeah, you should teach your son. Absolutely. I'm going to teach my children.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
This is the time now, like if you're into your spirituality and you're understanding what your life is now, this is a time to effectively change your generation, the next generation, and the generation after that, because it doesn't have to be closed. It doesn't have to be secretive. I'm here. My daughter now, this is encoded in her. Her DNA is now is recoded, okay?
Right.
So her children, and I'm going to make sure my grandchildren are going to have this. This is our new family lineage.
Absolutely. Because, it's good to know magic, because look at the times that we're living in. We're living in very turbulent times, not to, fear monger, but the best things that we should be able to know how to do is defensive magic, protection, cleansing, along with prosperity, and to keep our spirits elevated. The magic was always meant to help elevate ourselves and to protect ourselves.
Which is what we said at the beginning.
Right, so we can thrive.
And you look at it where you're confused about the church and religion. Well, contrary to what they want to tell you, a lot of these pastors are practicing everything, and they don't have the congregation, even remotely close to what real Christ consciousness is. And in reality, with magic, with your spirituality, this is real spiritual warfare. Yeah. This is how you fight real spiritual warfare, with this right here. You're not taught that in the church. Yeah. This is how you really protect yourself and your family.
Yeah, she said facts. Yeah, that's true.
So look at it that way.
Very, very true. I mean, you have to be well-rounded. You have to learn about healing yourself, herbs, different rituals. You have to learn about energy, how to command energy, how to cleanse energy. You have to learn about the different types of spirits and deities, angels. I mean, this information is just so vast.
I was going to say vast.
Yeah.
Definitely. I think we were maybe twins in another lifetime. At least sisters. We finish each other's sentences, have the same thoughts. Or Bree's like, get out of my head. I'll go to say something. She's like, I was waiting for you to stop talking so I can say that exact thing to you. So, yeah.
I mean, my mom, we're like sisters, but she's always been a mother and a parent to me first. So, I commend her for that. And that's exactly how I'll be with my children. You're welcome. Absolutely, Mama. Hi. Who is that just joined? That's funny.
What'd she say?
The name is funny.
Oh, but yeah. Okay.
Any other questions, guys? We're at the 41-minute mark.
Okay. So I guess we'll wrap it up here. Thank you so much for coming in and joining us.
Thank you guys for tuning in. We really appreciate your support.
We do, because we wouldn't be Magic Moya if it wasn't for you guys, and that's real talk. So we appreciate it. We definitely do. We're going to be going live more and sharing more things. We just want to hear from you guys. And we have a lot more to come.
Yeah.
We are finally at a place in our life now. So there's a lot more to come. We're excited.
Yeah, because magic and spirituality, it's not always about what you're gaining, but it's also to help you elevate, to transform, to get things in order in your life. Not just everything material, even though you do have to have a level of material comfort, because we're living in this physical existence. So for anyone to say or to make you feel bad that you're doing magic for money and prosperity, I mean, you have to pay your bills, right? You have to live. You have to be able to take care of yourself.
And as women, this helps you really connect with your femininity.
Oh, we're sending you love and abundance too. Yes. Thank you, Wise Feminine. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hi, Boss Lady. Hi. How you doing? Yeah. One thing this will teach you, like my mom said, is this will help you to really understand your feminine energy and your power and how to utilize it. It's not about anything crazy or out of control or, too visceral. It's about commanding your energy. It's about making changes
your
and
inherent
transformation.
gifts as a woman. So that's a lot of things that we want to really explore and share, and because a lot of our magic is built around femininity.
Yes.
Being a woman, the power of the woman, your energy sources, your womb, things of that nature. We want to totally connect to the goddess energy.
Absolutely.
The divine feminine. So, yeah.
Any other questions, guys, before we leave? Because I know this has been kind of long.
Yeah.
Let's see, Berwin asked another one. He says, I love both of your energy. It's so peaceful and yet powerful. Thank you. Wow. You got to have balance, right? You have to. I mean, along with magic, merge your magic and your spirituality together. Make it a lifestyle, because you have to take care of your body. You have to take care of your mind. You have to keep yourself balanced. I'm not perfect. My mother is not perfect. Not every day is going to be easy, but I commend you guys for putting in the work, because we all have to put in the work. This is a lifelong journey, Yeah, just keep leveling up in life.
And with that, I think we're going to say good night.
Yeah.
Thank you again. Really,
thank
you so
you.
much.
We're wishing you guys
too.
Yeah, we're wishing you guys a lot of love, abundance, prosperity.
Yes.
We hope we guys gave you some stuff to talk about, some things to research, some tips, and of course, we're going to do more lives, and just stick around, okay? Thank you for the hearts. Thank you. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Bye.
All right. Good night, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Okay.
Well,
bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in.
We're on IG too.
Yeah, so this will be uploaded soon.
Yes,
thank you for watching. And for those who are asking on IG, now you'll be able to see this on YouTube. So thank you,
good
guys.
Night, guys, and we love you.
Bye. Mwah.